All right, you guys. Today's episode of America's Hometown Horror is presented by The Skin Store. Fun fact, not a porn site. I learned something new today. For over 20 years, The Skin Store has been the #1 destination for premium skin care, hair care, and beauty products. With over 8,000 different products from 300 different brands, The Skin Store has you covered for all your hair, cosmetics, supplements, and of course, skincare needs. Find your favorite brands like Elta MD, NuFace, Olaplex, and more, all in one place with gifts with every purchase. Right now, The Skin Store, again, not a porn site, offering our listeners 20% off your next purchase by using the code POD. That's just P-O-D for 20% off your next purchase at skinstore.com/pod.list. Skin Store. Have the confidence to tackle the day ahead. Exclusions apply.
Going down south, I'm gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
Going down south, I'm gonna leave my woes behind.
And my parking garden, people starting howdy day.
Heading on up south, I'm gonna see if I can't unwind. Going down south, I'm gonna meet some friends of mine.
What is up? What is going on, you guys? And thanks for tuning in to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. My name is Mike, and we are back for another week with something that I think is going to be pretty fun to talk about and pretty interesting. And of course, I am always joined by people in studio here, starting out with Kat. How you doing?
Hello.
What's going on with you?
Not too much.
Yeah? Same old, same old?
Yeah, nothing new to report. Nope.
Keeping on,
Nope.
keeping on.
I'm excited to talk about South Park tonight.
Yes.
I think that it's going to be an awesome topic for
I think so,
the
too.
three of us, so
I think so too.
yeah.
All right, well, good. Glad to have you. And back again in the studio for another episode. As Andrew is out tonight due to scheduling conflict, is our buddy Matt Audette. How's it going, man?
I'm excited. I love South Park.
I know.
This is gonna be
So
dope.
yeah, we were talking about this before, but when I thought about doing this topic, you were one of the first people I thought of because I know we've talked about how much you love South Park.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna.
I appreciate it.
Seem
Thank
like a
you.
natural fit. Yeah. So what's been up, man? What have you been up to since the last time we had you on, which I think was Misery, right?
Yes.
Misery. Cool. Watched anything good? Done anything good?
Yeah,
What's been going
so
on?
we just got Shudder back going because I switched out of YouTube TV and I lost it for a little bit.
Yep.
I was able. Sarah, we split some of the apps, and she does the Amazon one, so I was able to convince her to tack on.
Tack on that
the
channel.
$6.
Nice.
That's how I do
It's
it,
worth
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, she doesn't care at
Right,
all, but
Yeah.
she doesn't watch horror movies, so I just kind of watch them while she's in the room, and then she has to watch them. But
Right,
There you go.
exactly.
I watched
Yeah,
one movie
yeah.
the other day. She didn't watch this one, but I did because I heard about a review on a podcast about it, and it was pretty fun. It was called Porno. So
Oh, that's that's a Fangoria movie, right?
I
Or
think
is it,
so.
I've heard about that one as well.
Yeah.
It's like they work in a movie theater,
yeah,
right? Okay, I've heard of that.
it takes place in I think it takes place in the 80s because it's like old fashioned. They have like film reels.
Yep.
And they're all like hardcore, like abstaining Catholic kids.
Okay.
And so they're like they like don't swear. Like it's pretty funny and like goofy in that sense. They're all like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but they end up like summoning a succubus.
Oh my god.
And yeah, it's just, you can kind of take it from there. So
Yeah.
but it's good. I liked it. It was funny. It was fun. Different, like new change of pace from all the like horror movies coming out now that are so serious and dark
yeah.
and gloomy.
Yeah.
This was kind of like a little more of like a wild splatter 80s movie.
That's
so
fun.
yeah, I liked it. I was pleasantly surprised.
You got to lighten it up every once in a while too. Not everything. You can't watch like Hereditary all the time.
No,
Yeah,
like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
It's
those
a
are
little
such
heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
dealing with grief constantly. Like
Yeah.
this is a little more over the top. It was definitely like a love letter to like Night of the Demons, and like movies like that. Even like Demons, the movie, when they're all in the movie theater and shit too. Like I think both of those kind of were a little nod. So
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So Shudder rocks. Just to go
Yeah,
off of what
dude.
Matt was just saying, if you don't have it, at least give it a free trial. I guarantee you, if you're a horror fan, it's going to be worth the money for you. So check it out. But you said you also started listening to a few more horror podcasts.
Yeah.
What are some of those? Because I'm curious too. I think we probably listen to some of the same ones, but
Yeah, there's only like so many. I definitely still crush the interviews with the Eli Roth History of Horror.
that's a good one.
Because those are cool because you're just getting real into like the actual making of the movies and stuff too. So I like that. But
Yeah.
Colors of the Dark has been one that I frequently will revisit because they kind of, if like an episode pops up when it drops that just sounds like it would interest me, I watch it
Yeah.
or listen to it. What else do I have? I have I listen to you guys, obviously.
Appreciate that.
Hold on, let me look at my thing real quick. But
you know what I miss?
A lot of them are Fangoria.
I have a lot of those too. Some of the bloody disgusting ones. I really miss Shockwaves. I used to like that show.
Shockwaves, I have too, but yeah, they haven't dropped anything.
Yeah, they actually got canceled.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
One of the guys on the show got accused of some creepy stuff. So he
Yeah,
got fired by
I remember
Fangoria
that.
and let go. But
That's
it's unfortunate just because they had a good dynamic.
Yeah.
And had Ryan Turek, who's a producer now for Blumhouse. He worked on the new Halloween movie. He used to write for Bloody Disgusting. He's good. Rebecca McKendry's awesome.
Yeah, I like Rebecca,
Yeah.
and I like the other guy,
Elric.
Yeah,
That's a good show.
They're smart as hell. Like,
Yeah.
I guess they're film teachers too.
Yeah, I would say I know McKendry. She teaches at USC.
Yeah.
Horror. She has like a horror film
Yeah.
class that she teaches, which is just wild that you can do
Yeah,
that.
I think Elric's from New Zealand.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But their knowledge of horror movies is like insanely extensive, and I'm like curious if like I'm sure they obviously do, but like do they even know anything else like
I know.
besides that? Like they
No.
just have so much information, like stored.
They would kick the shit out of us in the horror movie Trivial
Oh,
Pursuit.
they
would
probably
destroy us.
were involved in making that game. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But no, I like listening to them. I like their countdowns that they do. That was the last one I listened to. Was the top 10 70s horror movies that are not franchised.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? So I thought that was tight. So I like that one a lot.
Nice. Let me pause for a second here because Otis is losing his shit upstairs.
Yeah, he's bugging.
All right, what else?
I did Black Christmas
Yep.
the other night, and like I haven't watched that in a while. Like fully like sat down and watched the whole movie because it's all I always saw like bits and pieces. And that movie is like super super brutal.
Yeah.
Like it's like that guy's like a hardcore maniac.
Yeah.
And that being like one of the first real slasher movies, like you know what I mean? Like it's before Halloween and that whole Renaissance. So
Yep.
it's fucking heavy. I was
Yeah,
like, Jesus
it is.
Christ,
It's
dude.
a very. It is a fucked up movie for
Yeah.
sure. Did you see the remake?
No.
I didn't either. I heard it wasn't that great.
Yeah. I figured that. And then Sleepaway Camp, I watched last
Yeah.
night.
Sleepaway Camp is one of the all-time twist endings. That one's awesome.
And I actually got Sarah to watch that one because I just like sold her on and be like, wait till you see the end of this movie. It's insane.
Yeah.
The whole time she's asking questions.
Yeah.
And just wants to know and trying to guess it. I'm just like, just
Just relax. Just
Yeah.
watch the movie. Let it unfold, and you'll find out. Don't you worry.
She's always dumb.
So we actually finally finished The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, since the last time we recorded. So, did you finish it?
No, I haven't even watched any
No,
of them.
okay.
Yeah.
What did you think? Yeah.
I liked it.
The
I was like-
classic response.
No, it was awesome. Like, I thought it was good. I thought that the
You thought it was
Haunting of-
awesome?
I mean,
Haunting of Hill House was awesome.
Haunting of Hill House was awesome. I mean, Bly Manor was good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd watch it again.
Yeah, I heard it's like really slow.
It took a long time to get going.
Yeah.
Which I like Mike Flanagan. I love all of his work, and I understand that he does a lot of character work and backstory. So I can appreciate why it took a little while to get going.
Right.
And it's a TV series.
But it was
Exactly.
like the last 2 episodes you find everything out.
Yeah,
And it's so frustrating to get to the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
all just like filler.
yeah.
I mean, I get why they did that, but it's
having never read anything by
frustrating.
They could have just made a movie.
Yeah, they could have just
Yeah.
made a
Yeah.
movie. Exactly.
and like so it's based on the Turn of the Screw, which I've never read, so I don't really understand like the. In case you watch it, I won't spoil it for you, but like the way everything kind of works with the ghost at that house was very confusing.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions. Like they just kind of like put something out there,
Yeah.
and they'd be like they just kind of hint at that there's something going on, but then wouldn't really talk about it again for like 2 episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or 3 episodes, and then you're just like, what are they talking about again?
Yeah.
Oh, that scene, and then they're flashing back anyway. Like it was
Yeah.
a lot.
It was
Yeah.
good, but I also liked it, and I thought the best part about it were the characters that they had. I liked that whole little like quote unquote family they had working at Bly Manor, like
Right.
all those misfits that
And
kind
how
of were
it's,
all
like, in
working
the
there. It's
family
all about
and-
them,
yeah.
and the girl that played the nanny, the au pair, the main girl. I forget her name. Victoria
Oh, she's from
Pedretti, I think is her name. She was great.
You, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched that show.
I did.
Actually,
I saw like a couple episodes randomly.
I
think like my
gave
old
it a
roommate and
shot.
his girlfriend watching it. And
Yeah.
I wasn't into it.
It was like a Lifetime show. I was
Kind
like,
of. Yeah, I said
kinda
that. I was like, I
alright,
feel like
yeah.
I'm watching like
And
General
he's the guy
Hospital.
from Gossip Girl, right? I think.
Also, that's
know.
beyond
No,
my
okay.
realm of expertise.
I know.
It's definitely. Yeah.
But,
Those are like some of my guilty pleasures.
No,
Like-
hey,
Oh, those are classic shows
Gossip
that
Girl.
everyone's
judgment free. So, But yeah, like similar stuff as Hill House. Like there's all kinds of ghosts in the background, like in with
Yeah.
the furniture that you can see if you pick out. Like you can pick it out if you look closely.
Yeah,
But they're all like
Yeah.
traditional style, like old English type ghosts.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's another thing that I actually kind of thought was a detriment to it because I've never really been a huge fan of like the Victorian era like gothic romance ghost stories. They kind of bore me a little bit, and this was
I feel that.
very much like that.
They're very dry stories. It's like the
Yes.
others.
Yeah, so see,
I
I know
kinda like
she
the
loves the
others.
others, and it's,
Well, the ending's
it's okay.
insane, so
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean?
It's just not one of my personal
no,
favorites.
I don't like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, but
Well,
I
yeah.
liked that. So in Hill House, like all the ghosts and monsters and whatever else, there was a big variety of them. I feel like this was kind of like very similar things over and over again.
Yeah.
There wasn't much variety.
Do you know what I really do about Nicole Kidman? Sorry, we're going back to her.
No, you're fine.
I kind of hate her too, but I kind of love to hate her. Like every show that she's in, I love her, but I also kind of hate her.
Dude, you hated her in The
It's-
Like,
Undoing.
I hated
She
her in
has
The
something
Undoing.
about her. I just hate
I
can't
hated
stand
her in the HBO show Big Little Lies.
Oh yeah,
I hate her in that show. I hate her in the other. She's a pain in the ass. Like she's good at being a pain in the ass.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she's just like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything that she's in because I just see her name on something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to watch that.
yeah. I was saying,
It's the
I'm
same
trying to
with,
think
like,
of a ton of
Sandra
Nicole.
Bullock.
The only Nicole Kidman movie that I can remember off the top of my head that she's in that I like is Eyes Wide Shut, and she's Tom Cruise's
Oh,
wife.
yeah, that's Stanley
Yeah.
Kubrick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Her
actually
wardrobe-
it's an underrated movie.
Her
Very
wardrobe
weird.
in The Undoing was obnoxious.
Yeah, you kept saying she looked like she was in Hocus Pocus the whole
She had
time with
these
like the
weird
big
like
green
robe,
gown
like
and yeah.
jacket things that she wore in like
Yeah.
every scene. I was just
Yeah.
like, this is
I
ridiculous.
feel like she wears that, like, around her house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just not real. Like this is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's a roundabout way of giving an endorsement for The Haunting of Bly Manor. I would say check it out if
Yeah,
you have Netflix
I mean,
for sure.
it's worth a watch. Hill House was better.
Hill
by
House was
far.
way better,
Yeah,
so I
I've
would say
heard Hill House rules.
yeah, temper your expectations. But definitely check it out. And if you like Mike Flanagan stuff, he did Dr. Sleep, he did
Yeah.
Gerald's Game, he did Oculus. What else? He's done a bunch of other stuff, and it's all good. He's got another Netflix horror series coming out this October, I think. It's called Midnight something. I forget, but it's supposed to be. It looks like it's going to be pretty good based on
Cool.
who's in it and stuff. But
Yeah.
and then
Netflix is
yeah,
killing it.
Netflix kind of kills their horror game. They've always been pretty good.
I like a lot of their original series TV shows too.
Yeah, their
A
true
lot of
crime
them.
documentaries are
I
awesome
was
too.
just going to bring up that Cecil Hotel documentary.
Yeah, we can talk about that some more because I actually enjoy talking about it. I know we covered it last week, but I would happily talk about it again.
Well, you were the one that told me about it.
Yeah.
So, and I ended up immediately watching it because I was like, oh, whatever. Like, it's probably rad. So
yeah,
that ended up leading me to the
Night Stalker,
one,
which that's
too.
what we did. We
That
did
was
Cecil
scary
Hotel
as
for
hell.
The Night Stalker.
I was actually like, I remember going to work the next morning and like fucking like looking
Yeah.
over my shoulder, dude. I was like, dude, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the worst, and he just had
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason to the people he killed. He just killed fucking everybody.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
It was a bad,
So,
dude.
Yeah, but Cecil Hotel was wild until it wasn't. Like the last couple of
Yeah.
episodes, all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, this makes sense with what happened. That's kind of where
I-
it was pointed at all
yeah.
along, but obviously there's the, supernatural, paranormal element that's in there, which, they talk about a lot, but ultimately,
Yeah.
you
It
had
was
to
a
have a
very,
feeling it wasn't going to go there.
it was
Yeah.
a very sleazy documentary.
Yeah, and I know.
Yeah.
So we were going back and forth with a few people on Twitter about this, but like,
Yeah.
that
we were talking about that a little
yeah,
bit.
the hotel manager, like throughout the show, you just all of a sudden like, Jesus, this is she's a little evil.
Yeah.
A little
Well,
evil
yeah,
going
she
on.
says like
She was like bragging about like being involved with all these fucked up people.
right.
Yeah.
She
what are you doing?
like straight faced is like, yeah. Probably by the time I was here, I probably saw like 80 deaths.
Yeah.
Like with a straight face,
Yeah, she
and I was
probably
just
just
like,
can't feel anything
Yeah.
anymore.
Jesus Christ, yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with this woman? Like,
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Crazy
she
stuff.
just talks about. I mean, I guess she's probably at this point just used to talking about it, but
Yeah. Actually, I was kind of surprised that in the Night Stalker documentary they didn't talk more about Richard Ramirez's time at the Cecil Hotel. I would have thought.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew
I
they
had
were
a
both
feeling
coming
that
out.
might happen because it was more so about the detectives, like the homicide
Yeah.
detectives looking for him.
I liked both of those guys a lot too.
Yeah,
they were,
it was
they were
cool.
both really good.
But I felt like I was watching like True Detective.
I
Yeah.
know, yeah.
It had that kind of like vibe. But that Cecil one was good. It was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that video of the girl in the elevator.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I was like, bleh. Like
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
It's
you really know
it's
like
just so
what's going
weird.
on, you're
It's
like, the
so
fuck is
so
happening?
off-putting
Yeah.
and strange.
And like the timing of everything, and then
Yeah.
when the door just like is like
Yep.
closing, all this, and it's like already halfway there.
Yeah.
You're like,
Right.
whoa, what the fuck is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Oh, I'll give you a podcast recommendation, and you should listen to this one too. It's called Unravelled.
Mm-hmm.
So it's made. I guess it's also going to be a 2-hour documentary on the Discovery Plus streaming service,
Okay.
but they turned it into like an 8-part podcast.
Yeah.
And it's about the Long Island serial killer that was killing people. Like he was killing prostitutes in the like late 2000s, early 2010s in Long Island. He killed like 11 people. And it's a very twisty, turny kind of like, crooked cops type story. And it reminded me a lot of True Detective, like listening to it. Like a lot of sex workers getting killed, like that type of thing. So it has that vibe to it.
Yeah, that
and it's
underground.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. So I'm not going to get Discovery Plus because that's all fucking reality TV, but I'll listen to their podcast for free. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Guys, ready to talk about some local news real quick? Can I throw a couple local items at you? I know we were talking about this earlier, so I know you're very excited.
I'm the one who sends you all of these local
Yes, well,
items.
I had seen that before. I was going to plan on talking about it, but you did send me
You were
this
going to take
piece.
my big salad.
I was not going to. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. It's
Like
not often.
Seinfeld,
It's
you're
not
going to
often
take
that
credit
you
for my
are.
big salad.
It's not often that you are excited to talk about a news item. So go on with the chlorophyll.
Well, they had all these different news items come up lately about the filming of American Horror Story on P-Town.
Yeah.
One of the restaurants that we've frequented.
Gone a few times. Really nice place to get dinner.
Yeah, it's called the Mews, and that's open year round. That's been there for a really long time. They, I guess, changed that into the Mews.
So it's normally spelled MEWS,
MEWS.
and they changed it into MUSE for the show.
For the show.
But yeah, cats. So yeah, I read what you. So basically, they saw people have seen Macaulay Culkin walking around town. Finn Wittrock.
So cool.
Yeah, dude. Like, imagine just being like, is that like you're just hammered in P-Town?
Yeah,
and you're like,
Macaulay Culkin.
Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, pretty wild. But we were talking about maybe trying to get down there while they were filming at some point, but they had to change some of their scheduling because of COVID stuff. Yeah. So I'm sure you probably can't get within a mile of them down there. I mean, the pictures that have been circulated from some like the fan accounts are kind of few and far between. So I'm sure it's tough to get a glimpse.
Well, I'm sure they get tested every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
too,
they
if
must.
They're like
they
filming
probably
with
have
people
that
without
very
masks on, and
So yeah, American Horror Story. Code name for this season is Pilgrim. I'm unsure if that's going to be the actual title for it yet, but out there filming in P-Town right now. So if you're on the Cape listening to us, head over to P-Town and send us some photos if you can get any.
I was gonna say, how long are they going to be there? Do you know?
I think it's through it's only through the rest of this week.
Yeah, I was just saying they probably are airing it in when do they usually do it? In August or September?
They usually put it out
or October,
September
October
or so.
probably,
I think. Yeah.
It's like Sunday. We can make a day trip.
We could maybe. It's going to be a
day.
long weekend. Yeah, because we're going to Newport this weekend.
Oh hell yeah, that's rad. Newport.
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Yeah. So speaking of which, since we're going to Newport, another piece of little local news here that I thought was kind of cool and caught my eye. So not local to us in Massachusetts, but if you're a New Englander and you're listening to us, there is a haunted attraction in Stratford, Connecticut that is called Fright Haven.
Oh, I saw you.
So yeah, so it's all indoors. It's the largest indoor haunted attraction in New England, and so they do their fall October thing. They do a Christmas one. They did a Valentine's Day one a few weeks back for one weekend, and they're doing a St. Patrick's themed haunt this weekend, Friday and Saturday night. So March 12th and 13th. You can get a ticket starting at $25, and it's called St. Patrick's Demise.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty wild. Which, of course, we're going away, so we can't go. Stratford, I'm not sure where it is in Connecticut. It's probably at least a couple hours.
If it's right over the border, we could probably...
I love that it's St. Patrick's Day themed.
Oh, it's awesome. Probably some leprechauns.
I was say maybe
crazy.
Warwick Davis will be there.
Yeah, maybe. Some pagan stuff. You never. I mean, I don't know. But it sounds like a pretty cool little thing, and I feel like we always have something going on whenever these seasonal haunts. Because we were going to go to the one up... this is Fright Haven. There's a Fright Kingdom up in New Hampshire.
I've heard of that.
And they do a Krampus themed Christmas haunted house every year. And we were going to go this past winter, but they had to cancel it because of
COVID.
Because of COVID.
COVID, man.
And they're doing it.
COVID.
The funniest part is, so they rescheduled their Christmas haunt for a weekend in July.
Oh yeah, I heard about this on one of the podcasts that you guys did.
Yeah. And we can't go because we have a wedding that weekend. The one weekend that it's open. Fucking figures, man.
I know. We have a lot of weddings this year that we're going to as well.
We have 6 as of right now that we're going to. It's just fucking craziness.
But I've won in a couple months for my cousin. I'm actually pumped. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Good.
Nice, man. That's awesome. But yeah, so Fright Haven in Stratford, Connecticut. If you have a chance to go to St. Patrick's Demise, again, drop us a line. Let us know how it was. We'd love to talk about it on the show because it's kind of rare when these types of things pop up. I think it's a pretty cool little touch. I wish somebody like Barrett's would do it, but I know it's probably a lot of work to do for 1 week, for 2 nights.
I mean, they spend
essentially.
the whole year making it for October.
They do. Barrett's. Well, they have the house too, which they change up every year, so it would be difficult to do. And I'm sure that
I'm sure they'll come back with a fucking bang.
I can't wait.
I think everyone's gonna go nuts. I think horror right now is like really on the rise in general. Like, and it's always been popular, but I think right now it's really going upward. You see a lot of these networks taking advantage and making these series, and you know what I mean. So like, it's been a while. Like HBO did their Lovecraft thing.
Yep.
And, they have had True Detective, and they've had other horror shows.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. They're gonna HBO's doing a Last of Us show.
Yep.
That's pretty much horror, I think, from what I've heard. I've never played it, but I've heard it's a pretty good story. But I agree with you. I think that I think we're moving towards a pretty good haunt season this fall, and one of the reasons for that, last piece of news here. So Universal announced on March 5th, earliest announcement they've ever done for Halloween Horror Nights before, that they are bringing a Beetlejuice haunted house to Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights 30. So if you follow Halloween Horror Nights at all, this shouldn't really come as a surprise because it was rumored to be part of the event last year, which unfortunately got canceled due to fucking COVID bullshit. However, the weekend of Halloween, I guess they have like an app that you can use to like reserve a place in line on certain rides and stuff. That's cool. All of a sudden it just popped up if you were in the park today and tomorrow only, Beetlejuice Haunted House, reserve your time here. So it was open for 2 days because they had it all built. They were going to try and do the event, and then it got canceled. So they're going to they essentially just kept everything in place, and they're going to have it now at this year.
That's
so
dope.
Pretty cool. I mean,
it's probably going to be like super out of control wild.
Yeah,
Beetlejuice
is a cool movie. Do you guys think this would translate well to a haunted house?
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying.
absolutely.
It's probably mayhem.
Yeah.
It is in a house, except when you're out of the house and in the sand.
Yeah, you're in the desert.
Well, I mean, this I feel like it's obviously it's a Tim Burton movie too, so there's a lot of like weird imagery that you can kind of draw on and
claymation and stuff.
Yeah. So not a full on horror movie, but there's certain elements in it that you can definitely pull and make people have some jump scares and stuff. So I think that'll be probably a pretty cool little thing. So that's the first one that's been announced for, again, another anniversary year for them down there in Orlando. Hopefully we can get back there at some point. Check that out.
Yeah.
I'd love to get down to Florida and go to Disney World, Universal.
I know.
It's been a while. Last time I was there as a kid, so
yeah. It's different as an adult too. It's fun.
It's
fun
rad.
to
I heard
check
Epcot's
out.
where it's fucking at.
Oh yeah, just drink around the world.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Cool. That's what I got for news, you guys. You ready to jump into our topic tonight?
Yeah.
Ready to dive head first in?
I'm stoked.
Ready to talk some South Park?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, as you already know, we're talking about South Park tonight and horror-related references in South Park. So, obviously, there's a lot of South Park out there, okay? There's, 24 seasons now with the COVID special and all that. So, that's technically 24, 23. But this is an idea that kind of been bouncing around in my head for a while. I've been keeping a running list of horror references. I thought for a while I wanted to write something about it, but like you and I were kind of talking about, Matt, there's kind of a lot of stuff that's out there already, about horror references in South Park. So I may steal something, but with South Park premiering their Vaccination Special tomorrow night,
I can't wait.
when this drops, it'll be tomorrow night, so Wednesday night. I felt this would be kind of a relevant and fun topic to break up some stuff and not just do another movie or something that we do, just do a little bit of something different. So I know we've done, we did Treehouse of Horror before for The Simpsons, so this would kind of be in the same vein.
Have you seen
as that?
The trailer for the new episode for South Park for the Vaccination Special?
Yeah.
I laughed so hard with that old lady who's like 79 bitches and like gives us the finger.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like she's getting let into a club.
Yeah, right.
Fucking awesome. I can't wait to watch it.
I love that they don't really show a lot of stuff too. Like, they'll give you like these tiny little clips. Yeah. So
yeah,
awesome.
and I was a big fan. I was a big fan of the COVID special that they did.
Yeah.
That was really good. So I think this will probably be pretty damn good, pretty damn funny. Yeah. So, and so obviously we were just talking about The Simpsons and Treehouse of Horror, and I think The Simpsons is a classic show. It's been on since the 80s. And South Park, I think it owes a lot to The Simpsons, but I think they tackle a lot of their subject matter in a much, much different way than The Simpsons does. Much more vulgar, much more graphic.
It's a lot more in your face.
A lot more in your face.
Not as subtle.
Exactly. Yeah. Simpsons is very subtle, whereas this is not.
No.
And I also think from a horror perspective, there's much more of a supernatural element to South Park than there is in The Simpsons. Obviously, they do Treehouse of Horror, but those are kind of self-contained episodes.
They're kind
Yeah.
of goofy. Like,
Kind of goofy, and but like South Park is very goofy, but it has that running, timeline and running storyline where there's all kinds there's the pilot episode of the show, Cartman gets abducted by aliens
Yeah.
and they probe him. So
Yeah.
there's that going on, and you got Satan showing up, Jesus, Santa, all in
Mecha
also,
Streisand.
yes, exactly. So there's all kinds of stuff in there. So you can tell from the beginning if you watch this show that it's kind of set in a different type of world, a little bit crazier, a little bit
yeah.
fast, a little more fast and loose with the rules, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. They kind of hone in a little bit as
Yeah.
they go on.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? What do you think there?
Yeah. Even the earlier episodes too, like you were saying, they're so much more out of control.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, the Mecha Streisand, you have the one where you had the whole Dr. Mephisto.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
That whole spoof.
my God.
and
Oh,
stuff.
I
Andrew's not here.
completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was a good one though.
So that's one of their earlier references that they have. And then obviously the first two seasons there's a handful of them too, and Tenny dying all the time.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
yep. Yeah,
it's always been super violent.
Yeah, very violent.
Oh,
and
violent,
gory.
yeah,
Yeah.
sexual, racist,
Yeah,
kind of
just
just
out of
everything
control.
out of
Yeah.
control that you don't want your kids to see ever.
Let's
like-
just say the PC principal would not put up with this bullshit. He would
Absolutely
lose
not.
his shit.
Yeah, he'd fuck somebody
He'd
up.
fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
What about you? So I guess safe to say we're all big South Park fans here,
Yeah.
right? And I know you are a huge South Park fan. How many
Yeah.
seasons do you have on
Well,
DVD? I know you checked earlier.
I checked earlier. I was like, I have a lot from when I was in college. I used
Yeah.
to go and just buy boxes of the DVDs because there wasn't any streaming.
No.
we had crappy
Yeah.
cable, but
Yeah,
so I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9.
that's a solid lineup.
Yeah.
Those are some good seasons. Yeah, that 3, 4, 5, 6 area is
Yeah.
really, really
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that I don't want to say the peak, but it kind of is. That's at least the peak of them being really, really over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So-
I love
Especially
South
for
Park.
that time too, early 2000s,
Yeah.
post 9/11, everything being
For
kind
sure.
of hypersensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I remember South Park premiered when I was in elementary school or in middle school. I forget, but they're
Yeah, it was
kids were
98.
kids were trying to wear South Park T-shirts to school, and there was actually a discussion at PTO meetings about whether or not they should be allowed because of the content that was in South Park back then, which is just crazy to think about. It's something that they would make fun of
Right.
in the show.
Yeah.
South Park got me into a lot of trouble when I was a kid.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's easy to look at some of the stuff the kids do if you're young and be like, okay, that seems like it would be a lot of fun, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I almost got kicked out of my elementary school. I went to Sacred Heart, and me and my buddy got caught listening to the soundtrack for the movie
yeah.
during recess.
Oh,
And it's not like we had it was bullshit. We shouldn't have gotten in trouble.
No,
and we
I mean,
got
it was
called
in
out
the
in front of
youth,
everybody in the school, dude. She tried to ridicule us for it
That's
because
just
they're
ridiculous.
it's a Catholic school, they're
Yeah.
nuns and stuff. So
yeah.
But-
Uncle Fucker and Calzom's a bitch.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
I love that movie, and the soundtrack
that
is
is
great,
great.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, sorry, good. So we're all South Park fans here. I think this should be a pretty fun discussion. I ask you all. I think I know the answers to all this. South Park or The Simpsons?
South Park.
South Park.
Absolutely. That's all three of us here. Who is your favorite South Park character? If you had to pick one, you don't have. I have a list of a few, so you don't have to just narrow it down to just
I
one.
know.
Who are
it's
some of your favorite
super
characters?
hard.
Wait, can we do
Like a few.
subcategories of main characters?
You can do it however you'd like.
Sub-character.
You can do it however you'd like.
I'll just give you my top three, in no order by any means. Cartman,
Yeah.
Mr. Garrison, and probably Butters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd
How about
say
you?
Cartman, Butters, and Mr. Kim.
I have Mr. Kim. I have Mr. Kim and Cartman in mine as well. Because I feel like you have Cartman's always hilarious. He usually drives the plot. He's detestable, but he's hilarious.
Yeah, and
he's
he's
just
very funny.
Yeah.
And it's just he's just a little fat kid. So
Right, yeah.
everything he does is already funny.
Yeah.
Yes,
because of that.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I love Jimmy. I love Terrence
Yeah.
and Phillip. I love the
Jimmy's
PC
great.
principal. Officer Bar Brady always
I also
makes
like
me
Timmy
laugh.
with gobbles.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That's so. There's just so many good
Even
characters.
Nathan, when you go further into the handicap camp.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
Nathan's really
Nathan. I
funny.
love Nathan. Shut up, Mimsy.
Yeah,
He's
but
great.
I always love Mr. Garrison. I think he's I think he's underrated. Yeah, I'll grab that. Thank you. I think he's underrated, and he's really one of the funniest characters in the show.
He's hilarious.
He's like one of the most over the top.
Oh yeah,
characters
well,
for sure.
He evolves too. Like, you see his whole story of like him, and then with Mr. Slave,
multiple
and
sex
Slave,
changes.
and
Yeah, it's like
it's
just wild. Yeah, but his he's just so like disgustingly vulgar all the time. Like, and it's like at both times when he's a woman and a man.
Yes,
like back and forth, and he just like he's still just as vulgar, but just like flips the part. Like I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's a great character. Great character. All right. So we got some baseline South Park stuff out of the way. I think it's time to hop right into our favorite references in the show. So let's do the same method we did when we did horror scores with Shauno a few weeks ago. I thought that turned out pretty good. So let's go around the horn here, one by one. Just name a reference or an episode that draws on a horror movie and why you like it and why it's funny. Matt, you are our guest. I will let you start, my friend.
All right. So one of my favorite ones for just the point of being horror related and being funny is the Jack and Crack Weekend Halloween special that came out a few years ago.
Okay.
When all the guys get together, like the adult, like dads.
Yes.
And they just go and get like literally like just drink Jack Daniels and smoke crack in the woods.
We had this one
and
on
it's
before
so
you came
ridiculous.
over. Yeah, Sons of Witches it's called, and it parodies the witch and like the Salem witch trials, like kind of like witch lore. That's a great one.
Yeah, that one's funny as hell. And,
yeah, Jack and Crack.
Yeah, and it's just like, because they get in the car, he's like, I got the Jack, and he's like, I got the crack, and like literally has like a crack pipe. You're like, oh Jesus.
Steven Stotch comes over at the end after the one dude turns into the witch, and he's trying to get Randy to confess about smoking crack, and they end up deciding they want to sacrifice him to Satan.
Yeah.
So fucking such a ridiculous concept. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that one's funny, and it's nice because it's in one of those seasons where the storyline continues, and it kind of breaks it up a little bit. It was kind of a random throw in.
When Mr. Garrison's Trump, the president, and he comes in at the end and destroys the witch with like a laser from outer space.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, hello, Mr. President. How's it going?" It's like Butters. What does Butters want? Like,
Butters. Yeah, that one cracked me up. And that's one of the newer ones too. I wanted to start and kind of go backwards.
Yeah, for sure. I know that one was fresh on your mind since you just watched it. What did you think of that one?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah, and The Witch is obviously a good movie, and that anything that copies a movie that I like is a good thing in my mind.
It's just so funny that they're like, we have to be witches to like hang out as guys, like, and drink beer in the woods.
Yeah.
So we're witches. Like,
it's definitely one of those random, like, off the wall South Park topics. You're like, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
It's still fucking hilarious. So, all right, cool. So that one is called Sons of Witches, and it is from season 21, episode 6.
Yeah.
Also has an awesome Halloween-themed intro. They redo the whole thing with, like, Halloween theming, too.
Yeah, it's
I
all like
that when I was watching it.
Pixar-ish now.
Yeah, pretty sweet. Catherine, what about you?
So since we were just talking about Butters,
yes,
I'll just roll into Butters. So there's actually a character that we were talking about earlier, the old farmer guy, who's based on Judd Crandall from
Pet Sematary.
Who's an awesome character, who's in a few Butters episodes. So he he always shows up and he's just like out of the blue, like random, and he's like, "Don't go down that rock."
Yeah, you don't want to go down that rock.
There's a lot of history down that rock.
I don't want to go off there.
Yeah, and it's like, and then so that was Butters' very own episode when he was lost in the woods, and he's like, you find him, and so that was season 5, episode 14.
Sometimes that is better.
Yes, but that episode was also had like a Freaks reference.
Yes.
Where at the end, where they're like, "Google gobble, Google gobble, one of us."
Yeah, they call out like, what's her name? Ramsey, the girl that got murdered.
Yes,
by her parents.
By some Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah, right,
the whole thing is like, we need to get rid of Butters, and then the Ramseys got rid of their daughter. She got killed by some Puerto Rican guy.
Oh yeah, they all just like blamed that.
And O.J. Simpson, and he's here with some Puerto Rican guy.
Some Puerto Rican guy. Nice. All right, yeah, that's a good episode. Did you want to talk about the other Butters episode, too?
Keep going.
Yeah, so, there's that same Pet Sematary vibe.
So,
literally the plot of Pet Sematary, complete with Judd Crandall again.
Yes, for Margarine.
So
Margarine is in season 9, episode 9, and Butters faked his own death so that he could be the girl to go to the party.
Heavy, dude.
I love how he fakes his death to go to the party to get the time. What do they think? It's a time machine.
It's one of the. It's like one of the fortune telling thing they used to use in like elementary school,
and the guys
or
are
middle
like,
school or whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah. I love when they actually Butters gets it out of the basement and they bring it back into like this containment unit and they put it in there and they're using like gloves underneath to like open it.
Clyde gets like the cold shower fucking
Oh
thing.
my god.
Dude, they're just all so serious.
Yeah.
Like, where do they get all this technology?
And
Also,
then,
go ahead.
you know,
Sorry.
Butters is just like so sad because she's like, I'm like, Margarine is so sad.
Margarine.
She's like, you think I'm ugly?
Yeah.
And then like,
I'm flat.
he's like, we'll give you a makeover. And Cartman like looks in the window and he's like, God damn it, Butters! Like, what are you doing? And Butters like dancing in the middle of the circle, like, yeah. But no, but like, so Butters' dad, you know, dead is better. He like goes to like dig up his grave, and it's obviously not Butters in there.
Yeah.
and
It's
like,
just a pile of mush.
Yeah. Well, the funniest part of the whole episode for me is when they decide they want to fake Butters' death. And they get the dead pig carcass and they throw it out the roof of the building. And
Right.
the
Oh my god.
thing
And then
explodes and then Butters' mom's like, oh my god!
Oh, dude, it's
Screaming
insane.
hysterically and just blood everywhere.
well, I guess you don't when you're watching it, you don't expect that splat
Well, and
yeah.
it should just
Like-
be like her watching her son like
and
get
just getting it
obliterated.
all over her
Yeah.
too. Like
And the doctor like goes over to like the rib cage and like grabs a vein. He's like,
He's dead.
he didn't make it. Yeah, dude.
oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, the whole thing, like she's like
whole
yelling,
thing
like "Don't put him down there" when they're like lowering the casket. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh my God.
dude,
It's,
like,
yeah, dude.
so
Having
so
recently
heavy.
reread Pet Cemetery, like
reading
some of
it
it is
right
like
now, yeah.
word for word. It's pretty funny, and I think that this goes to show, among a few other episodes, one that I'll talk about next, how much Trey Parker and Matt Stone love referencing Stephen King.
They
Oh
do.
yeah.
Yeah, they really do a lot.
Well, it's
A
because
lot
those
of
movies
episodes.
are so cheesy, so
Yeah.
they're so easy to make fun of
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
But having the thing that's so funny is like he just walks up to his door unannounced and is like, "I know what you're thinking, Stotch.
Yeah.
Like you want to dig up your bowl and put him in the
Barrel.
cemetery." And what's so funny is that they capture the essence of how much of a catalyst he really is in that story to like getting everything in motion for all of that chaos to even happen. And it's
Yeah.
like all he had to do is just not fucking say anything.
Right.
Like it's like just let the cat be dead.
Yeah, it's almost like was he persuaded by somebody or something?
Well,
to tell
that's
him about it,
that's more so in the
yes in the
Yeah,
book
yeah.
for sure. All right,
What about you, Mike?
so good call on the Butters episodes. I'm a fan of both of those.
Thank you.
I'm going with from season 16, episode 12, my personal favorite one, and that is A Nightmare on FaceTime. So, Nightmare on FaceTime parodies The Shining insanely well.
that one's great.
We just watched that last
Everything
night,
from
yeah.
the music to the characters. And again, we were just talking about, Stephen King material, but like there have been other episodes that have drawn from Children of the Corn. Obviously, we just talked about Pet Sematary, The Stand.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more. But everything about this episode is perfect. Randy buying the haunted Blockbuster that nobody wants to go into anymore.
And they play the Shining music on their way
Yep.
to the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then,
I know, it's just Randy standing there looking out the
yeah,
window like,
with the Jack
It's so
face
fucking
on,
funny.
so awesome.
Yeah.
And then all the jokes about Blockbuster being so old that they're actually like Victorian era ghosts and World War II ghosts, like in the Blockbuster, like trying to rent videos.
There's a girl from the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim.
she's like looking for like Footloose. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. And then Randy, instead of having the scene at Jack with the bar and the overlook, it's Randy at the Blockbuster counter with a ghost of a former Blockbuster employee who's
Yeah.
telling him to murder his family. And then, then all of a sudden you see Randy wandering out around the aisles of the store, just carrying like an armful of DVDs instead of an axe. And then obviously at the end, parodies the scene where he wanders outside and he freezes and
Yeah.
he's stuck there holding the DVDs.
Yeah.
And then he's like frozen, but he's mouthing to his wife that he wants McDonald's.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you want me to get you McDonald's?"
I see orange. Chicken McNuggets, fries, sweet and sour sauce. I fucking died. Everything about that episode is just so spot on. It's such a
Oh, yeah.
great parody of
But-
The Shining.
They nailed that one.
Meanwhile, Stan's on his iPad trying to go trick or treating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great
from
part
the
too.
And
store.
Cartman's
Yeah.
supposed to be the Incredible Hulk, and they call him like
Yeah,
Honey
Bruce
Boo.
Valanche. They're like, "Oh, look, it's Bruce Valanche painted green."
Oh, it's so
He's like,
good.
God damn it, that's not who I am.
Bruce Valanche painted green.
And just like the running joke throughout the whole episode that everybody thinks that just because Stan's on FaceTime that he's an actual boy.
Yeah.
And like they find him like, oh my god, there's a little boy over here. What's going on? We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
Yeah, someone get him onto a charger. Yeah,
Can somebody give me a goddamn charger? So awesome. All right, so that's my first one. I love that episode, A Nightmare
great
on
one.
FaceTime. Matt, what about you, my friend?
All right, so I'm gonna go with the Korn's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery.
I'm glad you were
This is
talking about this one. Yeah.
Season 3, Episode 10. Obviously, it's a Scooby-Doo, like original, like Scooby-Doo TV show reference.
Yep.
And it's actually features Korn, all the members of the band.
So random.
Yeah, and
Pretty
I
awesome,
always
though.
thought it was, because this is one that I watched when I was younger, because it was obviously like one of the first seasons. So
Right.
Yeah.
I was like a kid, and I always would think it was funny when they would like turn into their forms, like their true forms, and they're all like different types of corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like a
Yes.
popcorn and
Yes.
like a cornflake,
Yep.
and like cornbread. Yeah. So I always that
So
always
good.
cracked me up when I was a kid, but. They think that them playing in South Park is gonna like bring the fucking ghost ship or whatever.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I haven't seen. So
That,
actually,
that might reference the fog too.
It does.
Okay, yeah.
I was pretty sure because I haven't seen that one in a while, and I didn't rewatch that before this episode. But I thought I remembered there being a lot of fog stuff in there for that one.
That
So,
one's super wacky.
yeah,
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah.
Very very old South Park.
Yeah,
very
that's-
old
yeah.
school South Park. The wackiness is in there for sure.
Yeah, that one's funny as hell.
All right, cool. What about you?
Me next.
You next.
I'm gonna go with season 6, episode 10,
Yeah.
which is Bebe's Boobs Destroy Society.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, we watched this one yesterday.
We watched this one yesterday, but it's a play on the Silence of the Lambs
Yeah.
and Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna play lambs.
Yes, we're gonna play.
Yeah.
We're playing lambs.
Yeah.
Or, Eric's downstairs playing with his dolls, and
Yeah,
you're like,
we're playing lambs.
Eric, Herman, what are you doing? Like, it's like,
He has Polly Prissy pants down the.
yeah. he goes to Baby. He's like, tell her put the lotion in the fucking basket.
Now it takes the lotion from the basket. Oh, please, mister, please let me out of here. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Bark, 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 bark. Yes, that's a good, Precious. Okay, now it puts the lotion back in the basket. Please, mister, let me out. It puts the lotion back in the basket. I miss my mom, mister. I want to see my... Put the lotion in the fucking basket.
That's what I love about Carbon when he like just gets carried away and
He's
like
like
that.
so carried. He's
Yeah.
on like a whole other level. Like if you were like friends with Cartman and you walked downstairs, you'd be like, "Dude, what the hell are you doing now?" Like, and meanwhile, his mom's just like, "Okay, honey,
Yeah.
like, oh, you have fun playing lambs and dolls." Like,
Cartman's mom's a great character. She's so funny.
Yeah, she is a very low key funny.
she's
character.
she's really funny.
Because she's just always getting like fucked by random dudes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Yes. But then, like,
It's
so
insane.
the Planet of the Apes reference is like when Bebe gets boobs because they didn't go to school for 2 weeks because Mrs. Chokes on Dick died.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she died because what's his face's semen.
Yeah, she gets like murdered and they
They
found
found her.
and they think that it's Cartman's like little like
Oh my
sea
God.
people. Yeah.
It's not Mr. Garrison. It's what the other guy.
Mr.
Mackey.
Mackey.
Mr. Mackey.
Yeah.
Duh. Mr. Mackey's semen is in like her stomach or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, 'cause they hook up during the sex ed episode. Yeah. That one's fucked.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And you see her like boobs at the very bottom
Yeah,
of her
yeah.
shirt. And
Sagging
she like
down.
lifts
Yeah.
her.
I
Like,
love
you're
how
like,
her eye always trails off like every once in a while too. You just see the dot like
Yeah.
just like dwindle down.
she's kind of maybe she might be like my number 4 top
Yeah.
character.
Yeah,
She's sneaky funny too.
She's a good character.
And they always call her like makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like the joke. Yeah.
Oh, my
my
god!
God.
Yeah.
It's jokes on dick.
So because Miss Chokes on Dick died, they were out of school for 2
fucking
weeks,
crazy.
Oh,
and then
yes.
Baby grows
So
boobs.
Baby got boobs, and
Yep.
then all of the guys are like, "Oh, Baby looks great
Yeah,
right
Baby
now.
is so
like,
cool."
what's up with Baby? What's in my shirt, Baby?" Like, and they start,
Yeah, they act like gorillas. Yeah.
Such an awesome parody.
Well, and then like
one.
the spaceship comes down, and the 2 astronauts that come out just kill themselves because they think that they
Yeah,
come
yeah,
into the
From
future.
Planet of the Apes.
Like-
Yeah. Yeah, that one's good.
Good call. Good call.
That was a sneaky one. I would have never
Yeah,
that's a good one.
thought of that one.
Anything else on Baby's boobs destroy society?
No,
I
I
think
think,
that's the title
I
of it,
think that
right?
was everything, right?
Okay.
I think that was everything.
Cool. Good work. Good work.
It's your turn. Go ahead.
I like it. All right, so I'm going with another recent one here from season 22, episode 5. This one's called The Scoots, and it's
Oh my god,
yeah.
it's such a
another
good
Halloween
funny.
episode.
Yeah.
The Halloween episodes recently have killed it, and this time they're parodying The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock.
Yep.
And instead of the birds, The e-scooters take the place of the birds, and all the kids in town decide they want to use these scooters to help them trick or treat faster and get more candy. And obviously, poor Kenny gets left out because he doesn't have a phone. He can't do the scooter, and he's just he's trick or treating by himself. And the town goes into this panic because they think they're not going to have enough candy to supply the demand.
What are they going to do? If
I love this. The scenes from above the town. There's a million people on scooters, trick or treat, like just flying around, just like the birds and the birds. But and then so obviously Kenny isn't trick or treating, and Mr. Mackey just has a huge problem with all these scooters. So it's Kenny and Mr. Mackey going on a mission to eliminate all of these scooters, and despite all of Mr. Mackey's efforts, they keep showing back up, which leads them to the cell tower outside of town to try and get rid of cell reception so nobody can call them anymore. And the cell tower is guarded by Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it's just like
it's like a random guy who just he puts his mask back on. And he goes into character as Jason Voorhees again. And I love this episode. Obviously it's a good parody of the birds with obviously all the hipsters on the e-scooters crashing into Mr. Mackey's car. Is hilarious. Those
get the fuck out of my way! I love when he gets wicked mad like that and swears. It cracks me up.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
and then I love Mr. Mackey. He's pretty much the main point of view in this. Him and Kenny and the kids, and it's just another good one. Good parody. Good Halloween episode. And obviously you get all the people trick or treating on scooters, and a ton of cool little costume Easter eggs in there too because there's so many characters trick or treating. So yeah. The scoots!
Yeah, those must be
scooting everywhere.
Those must be really popular out west.
Scooters?
Yeah, I'd never see people.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
Well, I will say though, up in Braintree and Quincy, they have bikes. They were like that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Not scooters though.
But they're just rent a bike things.
Right.
They do that in Plymouth too. Or they were. They were starting to.
But did they have a station that you would get them at?
Yeah, right next to Water Street.
And you'd have to put them back though.
Yeah.
The ones that used to be in Braintree, you would just leave.
Wherever it is.
Wherever.
And they would just
leave them.
They must have a GPS
there has to be something on them.
Some dude just running around trying to find all these loose bikes.
That's why I was like, dude, they were lemon lime bikes. And they would be in front of our office all the time, just
it's
a random bike.
Too.
And then someone would just take it and keep going.
Yeah.
I bet you that got eliminated by COVID, those things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Those sucked.
Yeah, thank God indeed.
But they were just like that. They just left bikes all over Braintree, Quincy,
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
Is this what our future is?
Yeah.
Just scooting.
It was just
scoots.
So weird. I get where he comes from.
I love when he takes them all, he puts them all in his car and he dumps them off a cliff and he wakes up the next morning in bed and there's one, bed with him.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the hell's going on, man? Oh, I love that episode.
Yeah, Mr. Mackey episodes are great. He's funny as hell.
All right, Matt. What do you got next, my friend?
I'm going to go with I'm going to kind of pick up where you left off with the Silence of the Lambs, and I'm going to do the toilet papering episode when they TP the art teacher's house because they make a clay penis.
Yes.
I think it was, yeah. And the art teacher gives them detention, so they TP her house. And Officer Barbrady has to try and figure out who did it, and there's a kid in a jail cell who would TP so many people's houses that he had this crazy below ground jail cell he had to stay in, and it was exactly Hannibal Lecter. And he's talking to Barbrady, asking him all these crazy questions about his childhood and shit. It's fucking hilarious.
That is an awesome parody. Yeah, pairing Barbrady with anybody is a good dynamic automatically, just because he's so stupid and funny. But that is a great one. I completely forgot about that one.
I think if I had to guess, I would say it's season 7, but I'm not positive. Toilet paper, yeah, season 7, episode 3.
Nice.
So, yeah, but I always loved that, weird little kid.
Yeah. I wish he was in more episodes. He was really good in that one.
Yeah.
Good character.
Well, he ends up, leaving. It's, the end of Hannibal, or Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, right,
he's,
in
Washington or something.
That's right.
Just, yeah. So, yeah, he's just gone with the wind.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is definitely a good one. See, this is, I feel like there's so many of them.
Well,
I couldn't, I'm forgetting, certain ones that I'm like, oh, yeah, shit, I can
They segue well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely do. Okay. That is a great episode, toilet paper.
It's a funny one, yeah.
Catherine, what you got?
Season 15, episode 6, with Mr.
Luke Kim.
City Sushi.
Sushi. One of my all-time favorites.
So,
Dr. Butters.
Yeah.
This is another good Butters episode.
I was gonna say Butters has the multiple personality disorder, and he records himself through the night and like watches his footage afterwards.
Yeah. I forgot about that. The dude just comes in and like pisses in his face.
Direct rip from Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. That's what. You're right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just standing in front of his bed and then he just like pees on him.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
This episode is so funny in so many different ways.
But
it's
really
fucked up too. It's twisted.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's one of my favorite episodes.
But yeah, that's the one where Mr. Lou Kim. There's a sushi place that opens up next to City Walk.
Yes.
And
but Lou Kim also is he is actually the one that suffers from the multiple personalities.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
yeah,
like
he's
in
the
the
therapist
end.
too.
Yeah. Yes.
I remember me and my buddy used to watch every episode of South Park when it would air live, and we did that. We had this like going for like 7 or 8 years. Like we never missed an episode until we just got old enough to have to work.
I know,
all the time.
and then you just couldn't. I know the feeling.
we had a good streak, but that was one of them that he was like, because we would just like smoke in his basement and watch them, and like sometimes you just get really wrapped up in it when they're like that because you're like, holy shit. And when he's on the park bench and like he had already made Butters like rob a jewelry store and all this shit, and he's like, you don't know, this guy's dangerous, like he's got a gun. And
yeah,
it's like, Jesus, dude, like that's so fucked up.
He's got a gun.
Yeah.
Such a good one.
Yeah, that one's twisted. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great one. And obviously you got the
big reference.
Yeah,
at the
the
end,
the psycho reference at the end.
Right, the one that says, "I've never heard of Fry."
Never heard of Fry. Yeah, exactly. And then there's the Asian the Asian Diversity Assembly. That's awesome. And then the Tower of Peace that they build. And it's just
him
and
our friend Seth have been watching them actually record like.
The
South Park, the voices,
yeah,
and like they do.
Funny.
Oh my god, they do one of like Luke Kim, and he's like,
yeah, it was on one of the documentaries.
That's Trey.
Yeah,
right?
It shows him
Trey
like
Parker.
him in studio with Matt doing like the voice for the Asian Assembly, and he's just doing it like all by himself, like dancing around, like getting into it. And
they must have so much fun.
Fucking
oh my
funny
god,
to watch.
it's
like,
really funny.
Yeah.
They live the fucking dream, dude.
They really do.
It's probably, I'm sure it's so stressful.
Oh yeah,
like keeping up, and like obviously it's like so there's critics left and right that are so like up their ass.
Yeah,
so.
and you know what? They just don't give a fuck, which I really respect. And obviously they've kind of earned. You know, they've been around long enough, they've kind of earned their place now where they can kind of critique stuff and they're kind of held to a higher standard. I feel like
they always make fun of themselves now.
Yeah, of course. And I feel like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as a show. It hasn't been on as long, but still they get away with some shit that other shows wouldn't be able to get away with because they have that cachet.
Mm-hmm. I just watched there was like a handful of episodes from the last season that I just hadn't seen yet, and I watched them like 2 weeks ago, and I was fucking dying laughing. I was like, dude, they still have it so well. And like Dennis is so fucking funny every time.
Great.
Yeah.
Is the most recent one the one where he was off the show for a little bit, or was that 2 seasons
That was
ago?
The one before that.
Okay, so was the most recent one the one where Mac does the dance at the end?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, the one is the one where Max really ripped that season.
He's been ripped for a couple, yeah.
But this one, he's walking around shirtless and he's absolutely like fucking.
He's in phenomenal shape. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he got fat as hell too for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he got and I think he actually got like diabetes.
Yeah, I know that they were very concerned
like
about
just
him.
like got so
Be
big
like,
so quick.
Jesus Christ, man.
He's so funny in that season where he's fat too, just like him eating food all the time and just like yelling at everybody.
Chimichangas.
Yeah, he has a trash bag full of chimichangas.
Like that's a psychopath move,
I love the scene too in that season where Mac and Charlie are sitting in the back of a van. I forget what they're exactly doing, but Mac's wearing like this huge on him like Hawaiian shirt.
Oh,
that's like
Tommy Bahama shirts.
Yeah, and he's wearing like an Indiana Jones hat, and he's eating a bag of potato chips. And Charlie just like keeps looking at the chips, and he's like, back all of a sudden he's just like, "You're not gonna eat chips. You wanted chips. You should have got chips at the store. I told you to get your own chips. You're not gonna eat my chips." And there's an outtake
That's
of that
me. That's
on
really
YouTube.
me. Like
They had to do like 15 takes of that because
I bet,
Charlie was dying laughing every time. They just couldn't keep it together. It was just so fucking funny. So
yeah, no, that show is fantastic.
hey, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia made it onto the show. How about
I know,
that?
right?
We're gonna have to do
off topic.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. No problem. All right, so you just talked about City Sushi,
problem.
right?
Yeah.
Anything else on City Sushi?
Yeah, I think that was all of it. Just
Yeah.
I love the psycho thing at the end. It was a nice little,
very cool reference.
A nice little gag. Yeah, that was funny.
Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit further here. I've done a couple of recent ones. And I'm going to go to Season 11, Episode 7 for Night of the Living Homeless.
Great.
Which is an awesome one.
This is insane.
Change got any spare change?
Yeah.
Parodies, obviously, all the George A. Romero zombie movies and their respective remakes. But, obviously replaces all the zombies with homeless people, which, again, not really something to be taken lightly, but the way they do it is fucking hilarious. And, you get elements of all three of those main George Romero zombie movies, right? Like, you have the part where Randy, the Stotches, and a few other people get trapped on the roof of the community center, and all the homeless people are marching around looking for change. And they're
It's like the mall.
the mall from Dawn of the Dead, and then Kyle's dad's up there. What's his name? Gerald Broflovsky.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's up there, and he goes to make a run for it to get to the bus station to try and get out of town to find some help. And on his way out to the bus stop, he throws his change to all the homeless people to get to the bus stop, and then he realizes that he doesn't have any change for the bus.
Yeah.
So he starts asking for change, and then Randy's up there with a telescope. He's like, he's turned into one of them.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh, the scientist.
The scientist.
From, the guy from Day of the Dead.
Yes.
And then he tries to kill himself, and he just shoots himself so many times.
Yeah,
and
he misses every time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like,
we're all out of Pop-Tarts.
Obviously, the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead all have very strong messages about certain things.
Yep.
Like, Night of the Living Dead is a lot of racism allegory, and then Dawn of the Dead is about consumerism, or so it's said, and then Day of the Dead is about a bunch of different stuff, over-policing, that type of thing.
Same with Dawn of the Dead. It has, the beginning of that movie has a lot to do with, what do you call it? Just, level of, income gentrification. And police brutality, too.
Yep.
But I actually recently watched the original Dawn of the Dead. It's on YouTube. The whole fucking movie. And, the extended full cut, 2.5 hour movie.
That's awesome.
It's so dope, dude. It's
an awesome
that
movie.
movie kicks. That's definitely, in my opinion, that's the best one.
I think so,
all of
too.
Those. And it's, just easily the best zombie movie ever.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It was the most original, and I feel like there's a reason
Special
that it's kind
effects
of
are
lasted.
wild for that time period, dude. That's
Awesome.
Tom Savini, at his peak performance.
The screwdriver in the fucking head.
Yeah, the dude
it's
taking
just
the
so
bite out of the lady's
Yes.
shoulder, dude.
Ooh.
You're like, fuck.
it makes
So
me
you can
cringe.
feel that. You're like, ow, dude.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. The gore in those movies, practical effects. I mean, there's a reason that Tom Savini does everything he does. He's so good at it. So, yeah, I really like that episode a lot. Matt, you get another one, my friend? We can probably do one more each and then wrap it up.
Let me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the Imagination Land series.
Okay.
So this is my favorite South Park thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many references in that itself. You have Jason, you have Freddy, you have Pinhead, you have all Alien. Dude, there's
Predator.
Predator.
Yep.
And there's just so much shit, and it's just so out of control. And that whole move, it's a movie, basically.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious. And then they
Imagination
have
Land's
Kurt
good.
Russell have to go in. He gets attacked by the woodland critters and shit.
Yes, that was gonna be my bonus one. I have another one, but woodland critters are
Back to that.
Dude,
Back to
that was one of the. I remember watching. I finally got a TV in my room as a kid, and I was able to watch South Park live for the first time, and it was that episode. And I was
that's
I was 9.
What?
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
This is TV.
Yeah, I got
Shit.
to learn what abortions were.
Yeah.
From South Park when I was 9. So yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Imagination Land trilogy. I have not seen that in a while. Have you seen that recently?
I haven't seen that in a really long time. No.
Yeah. There's just so many of them. I'm like, oh my god, I need to go back and watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole thing is so... The whole, I love when they first meet the, Imagination Mayor, and he's
I
bringing
feel like
them...
I've seen this, but I haven't seen it in a really long time.
It's so good. But when they're first going up into the boat, the sky boat,
Yep.
and, Butter's just like, wait, you're not gonna, rape us, right? And he's like... No, he's just so beside himself that he would think that would even be something that would
now
even
I want
do.
to rewatch
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah, we should definitely check that.
he's just so rattled that he even would bring that up. He's like, of course not. He's like this, he's like a Santa Claus kind of person.
You're
Yeah,
gonna rape us,
Yeah.
right?
Fucking Butters. That's me. I love Butters.
Man.
Love
Yeah,
Butters.
but yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, when the alien kills him.
Yeah.
And he's like, Butters is like, how do I get home? He's like, you have to click your shoes together 3 times. He's like, really? He's like, no, you fucking dipshit. Yeah, that one's wild. I love it. But yeah, there's a lot of references, even like the Woodland Critters with Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to think of how they want to kill like I think it's Strawberry Shortcake or something, and they're like, we could have someone pee in her eye. He's like, why don't we get someone with AIDS to pee in her eye so she dies all slow like? And Jason Voorhees is like, Jesus Christ!
Oh my god,
my
it's so messed up.
Dope. So good.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're definitely going back and rewatching that one. For
Yeah,
sure.
good.
I think
Yeah.
it definitely sounds so familiar,
That's
but I just
definitely one of
haven't
the
seen it in a
funniest
while.
episodes. Yeah.
All right, what's your last one? What do you got?
Scott Tenorman Must Die.
Yeah.
Which is a really heavy one. It was season 5, episode 4. So when I was actually, I like this episode anyway, just because it's fucked. But then I started reading about it, and I was like, oh, so it's based on Shakespeare's Titus?
Yeah.
Yep.
I, am married to an English major, but I don't.
I've never read it.
Even today, I'm on SparkNotes.com, like, being like, "What's up with this?" That whole Shakespeare story was fucked.
Yeah, he was Shakespeare. Like even like Macbeth is fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
most of his stuff is very bloody and gory. And, yeah.
Yeah. So
Death.
it's a
They're all tragedies. Yeah. For the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, in which
sure.
so it said in which it humiliated the protagonist, also exacts revenge by feeding his enemies their own relatives.
Yeah.
That's like
That's metal.
it's so heavy, and like he's just like I just at the end like there's nothing like the end when Cartman is just like no, hey, you made you eat your parents, made you eat your parents, and then he's like.
Nya, 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 nya. I made you eat your parents. Nya, 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 nya.
It's like,
Oh, Scott Tenorman's tears. They taste so good. And then Radiohead like comes
yeah,
out
they like
and,
radio on him
being
too.
like, oh, look at
Yeah.
this baby, like crying baby, like.
So random that Radiohead's in that episode too.
Yeah,
It's such a
it's
good
like
one.
one of the random like it's like the same with like when Jennifer Aniston was on it. Like
Yeah.
George Clooney was on
Yep.
it as
Yep.
like Stan's like gay dog.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. That was an early one too.
Yeah,
But this is a great episode. This is peak Cartman. This is a great.
Oh my God,
yeah,
great
yes.
this is
Cartman
the
episode.
Cartman,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
ultimate
Yeah,
Cartman
because he just
episode.
like the way he explains. He's like, "Well, I told like the farmer that there were trespassers in the area, and that he should be on high alert in case like
Yeah.
whatever."
I remember the first time I watched that, and it was the same thing. It's because I had like a TV, and it was just that episode had aired, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like that's
Messed up.
fucked."
Yeah.
Certainly messed
Do you
up.
like that chili, Scott?
I love how he like
I'm gonna
takes the
call it
second to like
parent chili.
Yeah. He like compliments Chef in the middle of it too, and
Yeah,
he's like,
he's
"I
like,
swapped your
Your
chili
chili
out for
was
Chef's
mine.
chili." Yeah,
Chef's
he's like,
chili.
"Thank you,
Good job, Chef."
Yeah, it's
Like,
delicious.
he's like,
Like, yeah.
Delicious. Meanwhile,
I completely forget. What does Scott Tenorman do to Cartman that makes Cartman go on this insane revenge
oh, he
path?
makes
What
him
is
buy
this?
his pubes.
Yeah, he sells,
Oh,
he sells him his
right.
pubes. Like
Yeah.
you don't just grow them
right,
yourself.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Yes. And then, like, the whole time Cartman's trying to, like, sell the pubes.
Yes.
How much is that in pubes? And they're like, we don't take pubes.
Yeah, the fucking
Like-
movie theater kid.
Yeah.
We don't take pubes.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he comes down to on the bus. He's like, "Where's
Yeah.
the pube fair?" He's like, "Get out of here, smart ass." Yeah.
It's all coming back.
And then he
to me
tries
now.
to sell
All
them
coming
back to Scott
me now.
Tenorman, and Scott Tenorman buys them back for $2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he does this
Like,
whole big
yeah.
exchange with him. He's like, you
He's
give
like,
me
"You
the
hold the
pubes, and
20.
I'll give you...
Yeah. And I'll take your $6.
And then I'll take the pubes, and you take the money, and then I'm going to take the pubes, and you take the money. But like, he
And then
just
he
like...
just gives him the pubes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, so good, so good. Scott
Yeah, but that was a very, like, the way it ended was so dark.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
crazy real quick.
And then I just remember, I think, like, Kyle being like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Like,
Yeah,
at the
literally,
end,
just
like,
like Jesus
Christ,
Christ, dude.
like-
Oh man,
yeah,
so good.
yeah, that's a classic.
yeah.
All right, I'll do one more, and then if we have any bonus ones, we can go around because we're at a good time place here. So I'm going to go with another recent one. So this is season 23, episode 5, and we kind of talked about Tegrity Farms recently.
Oh yeah,
But the Tegrity Farms Halloween special is very, very good. This
Yeah.
one parodies Creep Show. Mm-hmm. So basically, again, another awesome Halloween themed intro. And I know people have a lot of mixed feelings in the Tegrity Farm thing. I'm a little over it too, but this is a high pointer in the Tegrity Farm storyline. But the B plot. So basically, the plot of this one is, what's Randy? What's Stan's sister's name?
Shelley.
Shelley.
Oh, Shelley, yeah.
Shelley. Randy thinks that Shelley has a marijuana problem, and her marijuana problem is that she hates marijuana, doesn't want to smoke it. So Randy considers this a problem, obviously. So he's trying to get her to like enjoy weed. And then he takes her to this museum where there's an ancient Egypt exhibit, and archaeologist Butters is also there with like, in full archaeology gear, and he has like a little passport book that he has stamps on from every exhibit. And he walks into the up to this old mummy casket, and up behind him walks Judd Crandall from Pet Sematary. You don't want that stamp on your passport book. You don't want that. You better leave that
He
one
always
alone.
shows up with Butters.
It's so funny. There really is, the two of them. There's so many scenes of them together, but that one made me laugh. And then obviously, Butters gets the stamp anyway because he's archaeologist Butters, and he doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
Oh yeah, with the mummy.
Yes, then he gets attacked by the mummy, but like the way that the mummy attacks, it flashes this like blue and red light behind it. It has the exact music from segments of Creepshow, like The Crate and Father's Day.
Yeah, the Father's Day one I think was specifically,
Yes, and it's awesome. So you watch it and you're like, I know what that's from. So that was a cool little reference, and every time the mummy shows up, they do the same thing. But also, I noticed, there's a mummy in a segment from Tales of the Dark Side, the movie, which is essentially Creepshow 3, but they had to change the title for various reasons.
A legal thing.
Yeah, but I also liked, so you get a nod to, from the first Creepshow movie, The Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrill, which has Stephen King playing a dumb farmer in that one because Shelley throws all those chemicals on Tali and Randy's weed and starts growing it like a crazy amount. And it takes over the farm. And everyone smokes it. And they turn into like plant monsters. And then Winnie the Pooh comes back from the dead after Randy killed him. And
that's
all the dead cows.
When he kills him too in that episode, it's No Country for Old Men.
Yes,
because he fucking like, and it's like that same shot of like Javier Bardem with his head sideways, like just choking him out with like no emotion.
Yeah.
Oh, that part's so fucked.
Yeah.
And it's just Winnie the Pooh like just squealing trying to like get free. You're like, Jesus Christ, dude.
But yeah, I thought that was a good one, and a recent one too. So like I said, Tegrity Farms had its high and low points, but this was definitely a high point.
Yeah,
honey.
You wouldn't happen to have any honey, would you?
All right.
I love Winnie the Pooh impressions.
I'm loving all the South Park.
It's hard. It's a hard impression to do.
Yeah. Anybody have any other bonus ones? Kat, I know you have one. You have another one you want to talk about?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's still like so many of them. But one of the ones I always liked as well. Actually, you know what? Skip me because I want to think.
Okay.
First,
Good.
I was going to talk about Woodland Critter Christmas a little more.
Yeah, that's because I knew you want to do that one, so I'll just talk about that one with you too. But I have another one.
Wait, I think I have the episode. But that episode is just a mess. And so it's season 8, episode 14. And
yeah.
Oh my god, the whole plot line, you're thinking that, they're helping them the entire time with, the woodland critter, they set you up. They set you up to think that, there's this evil mountain lion that needs to be, there's never any, question of what they're doing until, they go and kill the mountain lion, and then all of a sudden, her babies come out, and they're like, you killed my mom. Yeah. You're just oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
And the fact that all the woodland critters are drawn to look like Disney characters from Bambi too. So you
their names are Barry the bear and Foxy the fox.
Foxy the fox.
Squirrely the squirrel. Yeah.
But then you find out that that they're gonna birth the spawn of Satan and that
devil worship.
They have to do a blood sacrifice.
Right. They have to do but that Squirrel isn't Squirrel the one that's pregnant has to die. Or they have to kill one of them. And the mountain lion always comes down and kills them every year. So they have to kill the mountain lion, and then they finally get help to kill the mountain lion, but then they birth the spawn of Satan.
Yeah, and then Kyle tries to take it.
Yeah.
Have it possess him. And Santa comes down and shoots all the fucking critters with a shotgun.
Yeah. So awesome.
And it just ends up being Cartman's fucking book report or a story that he writes.
Yes, so the whole thing is Cartman's story in class.
Oh, it's such a good episode.
Yeah, that one's insane. There's a lot going on in that.
Yeah, definitely.
They really went hard.
Yeah, that was a dark, gory episode.
And just Yeah.
messed up. Yeah.
it's a
Wooden
lot of
Critter
shit.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they had. I love that because they did that with the Butters episode
Yeah.
too. That everyone knows it's Butters.
That's
That's
me.
me. Like,
That's me.
Who's the kid who could
Yeah.
laugh at a rain cloud? Yeah.
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Dad wanted to go see a movie by himself, but he
Yeah.
left after a few minutes, so it mustn't have been that good.
Then
He
where
went to
did
the
Daddy
gym.
go?
He went to the gym and he wrestled around with a bunch of guys.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
Must
Oh my god.
paint
yeah.
new
Paint,
clean
clean, kill,
kill
Butters.
Yeah, that one's twisted.
So messed up. All right. You got yours?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna do Hell on Earth 2006. It's season 10, episode I think 11 is what it said. That's the one where they do Candyman with Biggie Smalls.
Oh, nice.
And so he keeps trying to go to the party, and they keep calling him into, like, Cartman's bathroom, or Butters' bathroom and stuff. And then Butters has to go with him, and, like, on that airplane, and I think it's, like, Purgatory or something.
Yeah.
I could be confusing them. But, the other part is the whole thing with Satan having his, like, super birthday party, and it's, like, supposed to be, like, making fun of My Sweet 16 on MTV.
Oh, that's so funny.
And he wants the Ferrari cake, so he summons, like, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, and John Wayne Gacy to go up to Earth to get it.
Okay.
And they fuck it up, and they bring him, like, an Acura cake. But it's like they, like, parody, like, the Three Stooges and, like, Abbott and Costello. But they're all just, like, mutilating each other because they're fucking serial killers, so... I always thought that was a good Halloween episode, too. I like that one.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one before.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Oh, the Biggie Smalls one?
I feel
gotta
like
watch
I
it now.
see a lot of them, but I see so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, like, a period that I kind of, like... I didn't remember them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't only have them on DVD and didn't watch them,
Yeah.
like, the same episodes, like, 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I remember they have, like, it's a costume party, and, like, there's a specific rule that you have to wear a costume. And someone comes up to Satan, and he's like, hey, there's a guy here. And it's, like, right after Steve Irwin died. And they're like, hey, there's a guy here that's dressed like Steve Irwin. And he's like, hey, man, like, you know, he just died. Like, that might be a little too soon. He's like, but it is me, Satan. It's me, Steve Irwin. He's like, oh, well, then. No costume. Sorry, you gotta go. Because it's just him with the fucking stingray hanging out of his chest.
Oh my
it's like, Jesus, dude. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, no costume. So, like, you still gotta go.
Costumes, so you
Yeah.
still gotta go.
Satan's an hilarious character. He's
Yeah.
hilarious too when he pops up
Yeah.
from time to time. That's always
And
good.
Saddam.
Always good fun. Saddam
Oh, yeah.
Hussein.
Their whole...
That whole...
What was funny was that, like, they had him even, like, before he was dead. Like,
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, so... That whole dynamic of... And then just, like, that guy, Chris. Like,
Yes.
Satan dates after
Yeah,
Saddam.
right?
And he's just so, like, nice
Chris,
and, like,
like, he's
yeah.
like-
Chris!
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, yeah, Saddam's just, like, a horny little
Yes.
prick, dude. Yeah.
Saddam, you know you want that.
Yeah.
And I
Like-
love I love Terrence and Phillip too, and I love that they have like when Terrence and Phillip talk, it's just like
Yeah,
their heads
his-
moving
for
up
some
and down.
reason, his is like
and
that.
yeah, Saddam's is the same thing. It's
Same
just
with
so
Mel
funny.
Gibson, too.
Yeah, Mel Gibson. I
Yeah.
forgot about him. Yeah, oh, so good.
Mel Gibson.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're running into Easter soon with the Passion of the Jew.
Passion of the
Yeah.
Jew, Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Yeah, Chupacabra has a
Chupacabra.
great reference at the beginning of it when you basically like it shows like I forget what it does it over, but it has the word Chupacabra like ripping
Oh, like the
through
thing?
like the thing.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
so
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
you
it
showed me
was
that.
so good. But yeah, Chupacabra's a good one too because it makes fun of like Bigfoot investigators.
Yeah, being
and, like,
dumb as fuck.
cryptid
Yeah.
lore. That's a good one for like paranormal type stuff. That's pretty funny too.
Well, when they show, is that the one when they show the, like, paranormal TV show and the dude's just, like, pissing his pants and he's like, what is that?
I think that's a different one.
God, dude, I just pissed my fucking pants.
I just love in that one when Cartman's like he's playing the tape of the Chupacabra to like
Yeah.
the scientists, and he pauses it on like one frame. It's like you can see like a little bit of a shadow, and he pauses. He said, "See that? Chupacabra.
Yeah.
It's
They do,
Chupacabra
the-
in South Park." And
Like
they're all
the
like,
thermal part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, like, clearly, like, a coyote. Like, yeah.
"So good, such a good one."
Yeah, that one's
Yeah, so we covered a lot, but I also had just real quick some other ones if you want to watch them if you're listening. From season 1, episode 10, called Damien, which is obviously based on The Omen.
Mm-hmm.
Then from season 4, episode 16, the Wacky Molestation Adventure.
That's
which
one of
is,
my favorite ones, too. I
Children
almost
of the
forgot about
Corn. That's a good one. Another
Carousel.
Stephen King episode.
Yeah.
And then the only other one that I just wanted to mention, one thing that I didn't know until I rewatched this, Cripple Fight, Season 5, Episode 2. Great episode. Introduction of Jimmy, and it kind of builds that rivalry between Jimmy and Timmy.
And the Bloods and the Crips.
And it's a different one. No, that
Yeah, that one's
is...
good,
yeah, that's
too.
a different one. But
That's
that's
a different Cripple
fantastic...
Fight one?
I think
Yeah.
they bring them together.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
one's
they were
funny
the
as
same
well.
one.
Yeah, no, that's a different one, because that's the one where Jimmy and Timmy think that the Crips are like a crew, like a group
handicapped.
for handicapped people.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And they try and get the
right.
Crips and the Bloods to like get
See,
together.
that's
and,
why I'm
like-
always like, I may
Yeah.
have seen that episode,
Yeah.
but I
So
remember
funny.
like bits of. I've seen so many.
But so eventually, you get to the point where there's the Cripple Fight that's in the title, and it is the exact reenactment of the fight between Roddy Piper and Keith David's character, and They Live.
Oh.
So like if you pair the audio up side by side and have both scenes playing, it's like the exact same fight choreography and the exact same sound.
That's
do
super
that.
funny. I never would have picked
Yeah.
that one up. Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, and They Live is obviously another great Carpenter film. So I thought that was a pretty cool one.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, anything else on South Park, you guys, before we wrap it up?
Ike.
Ike's a good character too. I love the one where Ike is watching the Royal Canadian Wedding.
That
Yes.
one's hilarious.
That was so funny.
I actually thought I wanted to bring this one up earlier because when we were talking about Mr. Mackey bugging out about the scooters,
Yeah.
that's one when he's directing the play for Tooth Decay.
Yes, Tooth
and he's like
Decay,
yelling
yes.
at kindergartners, and he's like,
Oh my
he's like,
God,
"2
yes.
weeks left in rehearsal, and you're
Yep.
about to blow your fucking shot. You're all still fucking around." It's like, dude, he's like screaming
Like
at like
4-year-olds.
4-year-olds. Like, yeah.
The about-to-be Princess of Canada walking down the aisle.
I love when everything
So
goes to
sad
shit and like they're announcing all the things that are happening, and it's like, oh, and like the Mushroom people of Nova Scotia have been squashed by a pillar, and it's like, oh, and the pudding has been knocked over. This is, like that's like the only rise that you get from him. He's like, oh, and the pudding has been knocked over. This is truly a terrible day for Canada.
None of this is tradition. None of this is tradition at all.
Yeah.
A horrible day for Canadians everywhere, and of course the world.
Yeah, and of course the world. But just the pudding thing cracks me every time.
Duke and
the
Duchess.
pudding's been knocked over.
Pudding's been knocked over. Pudding's been knocked over. The Duke and Duchess of Newfoundland.
Yeah,
All the biggest Canadian celebrities are here. Sir Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Sir Brian Adams.
it's the Queen of Canada, and the Queen Mobile. I believe she was Queen.
I believe she's Queen. She's Queen right there. Queen.
Terrence and Phillips and the Queen sisters. I believe she was Queen.
I could talk Terrence and Phillip all day too. But
Yeah.
oh my god! All right, so good. All right, good stuff, you guys.
Oh yeah, South Park rules.
South Park
Yes.
rules.
Viva
fun
la South
topic,
Park.
and definitely watch the Vaccination Special
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
tomorrow night, as of this recording. So
Yeah, March 10th.
March 10th, baby, March 10th. More South Park, and hopefully there'll be a new season to follow. So
Oh yeah,
they must be working
they're
on
not.
something.
They'll never stop. I
Yeah.
don't think. As long as there's stuff going on
Yeah,
and any sort
they
of,
can make fun about
any
it.
sort of
Yeah.
issue. Yeah.
sweet. All right, Mr. Audette, if people want to follow you on any social media that you want to promote, where can they do so, my friend?
Just literally my like basic Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah, just Matt Audette.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so Matt Audette
better
on
than
Facebook.
nothing.
Matt Audette on Facebook. Here's you can find us on social media platforms, including YouTube and Facebook. Just search for America's Hometown Horror. You can find us there. Like, subscribe, mash that bell, do whatever you want to do. You can also tweet at us at Hometown Horror. You can find us on Instagram at Hometown Horror Pod. And you can shoot us an email at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find our show on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, and wherever else you may listen to your podcasts. I am sure we are out there. My name is Mike, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Thank you to my co-hosts, Kat and Matt Audette. Say
you for
goodbye
having me,
to
buddy.
your listeners, my friends.
Adios, muchachos.
Bye.
Bye. You guys. Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.